So let's talk about the settings you need for birds in flight photography. There are two main considerations. Firstly, shutter speed. Secondly, autofocus mode you're using. The shutter speed you need has to be high enough to freeze the bird in flight. Generally, that's going to be around 1/2000, maybe 1/3200th of a second, maybe even higher. It really does depend on how fast the bird is flying. The focus mode you're using, that's going to depend on how far the subject is away from you, the type of lens you're using as well. The Z9 I have here has subject detection modes which make bird in flight photography really, really easy. The other Z cameras like the Z7 II, Z6 II, the original Z6 and Z7s, they also are really capable of bird in flight photography if you use the correct focus modes for the size of the subject in your image. The modes you use will either be single point, dynamic, it could be wide area small. On the Z9 here, I'm using the new custom features, so C1 or C2, I have a block programmed in so I can track a bird in flight across the frame. I'm also using the 3D tracking mode as well. So a lot of the focus modes you use and your composition are going to come down to the type of bird you're photographing. We have puffins here, we have cormorants, they're two different sized birds. For the puffins, I'm going to be using a smaller focus area to make sure I can get them in flight. I'll also use the custom mode so I can track them left to right across the frame. If I was photographing, say, one of the cormorants or maybe one of the fulmars here, which are much larger birds, I'm going to be using wide area small, maybe wide area large, or the subject area detection on the camera to photograph one of those larger birds because it will make my life easier as a photographer. So for dramatic composition, when you're photographing birds in flight, you need to be looking at shooting into something like this cliff behind me here. Dark cliff, and you could have a bright bird flying across it. Give the bird space to move. So it's perhaps traveling left to right, for example. There is space for it to fly into on the right-hand side of your frame. White body of a puffin against the white clouds, that might not work out so well. So try and get them against the blue sky I have on my left-hand side here. If you're photographing them with their dark backs as they're going across us, again, photographing them against the white clouds, that would work quite well. So when you nail those shots, it's really exciting. And I've got some great puffin in flight shots already, and I'm looking forward to spending the rest of the afternoon here on the island to get some more great images.